You know, Deion Sanders nicknamed himself Prime Time because that would indicate that he deserves the attention of a major time slot. That when it's most important is when Deion performs his best. But in his latest public spectacle, he's proven to be the exact opposite. I mean, you're going after an Austin P defensive back. Dude, that's more like daytime TV. Hey, before we go much further, a reminder to subscribe to this channel by clicking on this button below me. That way, you're amongst the first to know when we do more DA deep dives like this and when we go live on Sunday nights. So this latest bunch of news is really a shame because Deion represents something that's actually really cool, which is a new way to approach a very old system. You know, college football's been led by the same types of people for, about 150 years. The snarling, barking, my way or you're out of here, elevated kings of the jocks who started as grunts and interns and navigated their way up the food chain by yes-sirring all of the coaches above them and carrying out commands of superiors and making young men tough and proud and better, and look, you know the bit. So Deion cut the line. He wasn't an assistant coach. He wasn't a grunt. He decided to try his hand at this coaching thing and immediately landed a head coaching job because of his celebrity and made Jackson State just about the only HBCU most people noticed for the last 40 or 50 years. And then he parachuted into Boulder, Colorado and snapped his fingers, and suddenly there were SI cover stories and a record crowd for the spring game and a top 25 ranking and a 3-0 start and every game on national TV and Wu-Tang and Chris Rock on the sidelines of Colorado Buffalo's football games. Something worked. But why now does he feel the need to go after Xavier Smith after Smith let his feelings known about Deion's tactics in a piece in The Athletic? Smith felt like Deion enjoyed tearing guys like him down instead of building them up, and that the CU environment was a reality TV show more than a football program. And when Deion told Smith and his teammates who were there under the previous regime before Deion got there to just transfer now, Smith actually stuck it out for a little bit. Then transferred to Austin P. He then transferred again to UTEP. Now, first it was Shedeur Sanders clowning Smith by saying he doesn't even remember him on the team, so he must not have been that good. Mid, if I read that correctly. And you can chalk that up to a son defending his dad. I mean, hey, if your pops was coaching your little league team and little Tommy went after your dad for not starting him at first base, you'd probably take up for dad too. But what you wouldn't need is dad then taking a shot at 10-year-old Tommy. And that's the neighborhood of where we are with this Deion thing right now. Sanders took to social media to also laugh at Xavier Smith and then get into the muck with Twitter blowback. And before you could high-step your way into the end zone, it was a silly, immature, vanity-driven food fight with Deion in the middle of it. And see, here's the thing. Deion often has very poignant observations about the sport and about how things have been built and what kids need in today's landscape that many probably have been missing for a long time. But Deion's Achilles heel is his ego. And once you target or maybe even puncture that ego, everything descends into nonsense. How could it possibly matter, that a player you've never heard of at a program you've only made fun of, Austin P, is enough to get Deion Sanders, Pro Football Hall of Famer, to jump into the ring? It's because A, Deion knows a chance to make waves is here, and B, because it's a shot at his coaching style by someone who was an insider, even if only briefly. And that gets under the skin of Deion when it shouldn't. I mean, Deion can't preen and brag that he's got all these cameras and all of these microphones where he gets to say whatever he wants, and then when somebody else gets the platform, trash them as meaningless nothings who must have no credibility because they're no longer here. And oh, by the way, they aren't good at football either. Look, it's a cheap ploy to take the counter to your argument and then just smash them to bits when they're not nearly as big as you are. It's called punching down. And then discredit them because they're not as big as you are. Deion's angle has been to build up young men by instilling them with confidence and make them believe in greatness. Unless, I guess, they don't see things the way you do, and then they're not allowed to have confidence, and they should be shunned and made fun of by the social media bullies in town square. Now, the other problem is the ego of this drips into everyone on his team. Twitter was fueled by current Buffalo's players dogging any critics of the program and puffing out their chests that they're superior to anybody else who had left and maybe disagreed with the tactics. Now, this is a program that went 4-8. Missed a bowl game. Won one measly game of the Pac-12. I wouldn't start with ego as the most valuable trait needed at CU right now. Deion has a chance to say things a different way and see things a different way and help change some of the old stuff that the sport has outgrown. But you can't do that if everything needs to come back to validation for yourself or your celebrity. That's just empty vanity. And that's not much of a primetime show, actually. That's just a daytime soap opera. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it very much. Leave your comments below. What do you think about Deion Sanders? What do you think about what he's built at Colorado? Was this a fair shot that Deion took at a critic of his? Hey, it's a player that played under him, taking a shot at him, so everything's fair in love and war. Or was it classless of a coach to go after a former player? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And remember to subscribe to the channel by clicking on this button right next to me, because that means you'll be amongst the first to know when we go live on Sunday nights. We've got Watch DA Live, our Sunday night live show right here on YouTube, 7 o'clock Eastern time every single week. And you'll be amongst the first to know when we do other deep dives like this. I appreciate you watching, everybody. Thanks so much for checking us out. You can catch me mornings on Sirius XM as well, channel 82 Mad Dog Sports Radio. I'm DA, Damon Amendolara. We'll see you next time.